Mudlup 50.
A cryptic map left inside of the game that details the location of UFOs. Today we discuss the UFO map of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The map is on the screen now. It can actually be found in two different spots in the game, inside of Mike Torino's ranch and also the Lil Probe Inn. I always found it odd that both locations of the map are in Las Venturas. I'd also like to mention that this map does not match the actual San Andreas map. They do look very similar, but things are added and removed from this map. For instance, an island in the middle of the bay, which could represent Alcatraz, was added to the UFO map, while the town of Bayside in the top left corner is not on this map. Plus, if you look at the area separating Los Santos and San Fierro, there is no river on this map. This has led many people to believe that this map is actually the beta map for San Andreas, which explains away the discrepancies. I have three theories to discuss. Number one, this map shows the spots where UFOs have been spotted. Now, we don't know if this was a government set-up map, because Mike Torino would have a government set-up map, or if this map is just created by some hardcore UFO enthusiasts, because it's in the Lil Probe Inn. Number two, the map shows places the government has FIB or Secret Service soldiers stationed. This could be something where, oh, there's a person of interest nearby, or we want to keep an eye on this area, or something to that effect. And three, areas where the game designers wanted us to investigate for myths. Two of these ideas are the most common ideas thrown out about this map. Let's do this in reverse order, because I like making things difficult on myself. You can make out the foot of the bottom right corner of the Badlands to the southeast, and the Horsehead, as I call it, to the west of the dot. This should be somewhere around where I am on the screen. Why is this area important, though? As far as I know, nothing of importance happens here. It is a wide open area, so people could probably see the sky better, and thus more UFO sightings, maybe? Or there could possibly be FIB agents here, because as you can see, you have a great view of the Truth's farm, and also this low-hanging area down there. There is the mission where you burn all the weed, so maybe people got high and started spotting some UFOs. The dot up next is the one that appears to be between the Easter Bay chemical plant and Fallen Tree, both of which are odd areas in the game. One is polluting the area, while the other is what appears to be a freight depot. The chemical plant gives off a green glow very similar to the alien goo in the mission Green Goo. So could the chemical plant be the cause of the green goo? Could they be reverse engineering some? Or could this just be a government watch point to keep an eye on both locations to make sure they stay on the up and up? Moving on up now, we're at the dot in the center of the map, which just so happens to be in Blueberry. I have a few theories here. For one, with this being the center of the map, maybe we're viewing too much about this being an actual spot and less like a tack to keep up the middle of the map. Because in the corners of the map, you can see that there are spots holding it up. There's also an Epsilon cult member who lives in Blueberry by the name of Jonas Ackerman. I want to say he calls into one of the radio stations, so maybe they're keeping an eye on him. And to finish it off, there's a sign for Avery Construction, which might be the same Avery from Vice City. So maybe the government is again using the map to keep an eye on potential people of interest. The next dot is just north of the Green Glass College, which is for the most part abandoned. The campus is actually named for David Greenglass, an American-born Soviet spy who was arrested for about a decade for giving up secrets about atomic weapons to the Soviets during the Cold War. So if we say hypothetically his in-game representation is there, I guess that'd be a person of interest. Or are we overthinking this? College-aged people typically are viewed as more open to believing in urban legends like Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and of course aliens. So maybe the person who designed this map got a lot of UFO sightings from this area. Continuing on the UFO trend, the next dot is located suspiciously close to the Big Ear. So let's discuss what the Big Ear is in the game. And for the quick answer, it's a device used to hear signals from space based off of the structure of a similar name in Ohio, which in 1977 picked up the quote-unquote wow signal. The point of this being, well, this would be a high UFO area if they were trying to contact back. There's also a lesser-known urban legend about new radio stations being picked up in this area. And then there's also the fact that according to the official GTA SA website, people around this area are born without ears due to the radiation from the Big Ear. Now, this would be a reason for the government to keep an eye on this area, wouldn't it be? The next spot on the map is located over Area 69, which I'd imagine is pretty self-explanatory. But if you need an explanation, the government claims that a lot of UFOs are new air vehicles that are being tested. So this area could be a high UFO spottage area Or this could just be to show other government officials where the military base is. Or, also possible, I suppose, just to subtly show you where the game's Area 51 is before you have to go there. The seventh and final dot is placed near the deserted building, which in itself is a mystery still. There have been theories that this building is associated with the Epsilon cult, which could explain why the government would be keeping tabs on this building, with the Epsilon cult being, well, a cult. It could be believed that a lot of people nearby spot UFOs during a drug binge, or just being told to see aliens, which seems to be important in their religion. So we've looked at all 7 locations and looked for reasons why they would be marked on this map. We've narrowed it down to 3 main reasons for which they would be marked, so let's look at those 3 reasons again, shall we? They were, number 1, it's a UFO map. 2, it's a map to show places FIB or Secret Service agents are. Or 3, it's a map to show places the designers wanted us to investigate. Which theory are you leaning towards? A lot of people like the UFO map theory, so maybe it's that one. But why would it be? 3 of the 7 areas have no connection to UFOs at all in the game. And this is a game that's been out for almost 12 years now. And even the 4 we found connections for, they were usually stretches to connect them. Only 2 of the 7 areas have a direct connection. I get why people would still believe this theory, but there are too many holes for us to just blindly say this is the truth. Then there's the Secret Service idea, which now seems more believable, doesn't it? Well, it shouldn't, because of one of these areas the map is found in, the Lil Probe Inn. See, we could believe that Mike Torina would have the map due to his connection to the government, but the Lil Probe Inn would have no way to get this map. So that idea officially makes no sense, doesn't it? Unless they stole it. That just doesn't seem all too likely with the way the Lil Probe Inn is ran. And if you believe in the third idea, you're even wronger than believing in the first 2. Because what sense does it make when 4 of the 7 areas have nothing going on in them? Why would the developers want us to go to Blueberry? Or some random spot in the forests of San Fierro? So this theory doesn't make sense either. So what idea do we end off on? We can pretty much argue that none of these 3 theories make complete sense, so I guess you can believe whichever you want to believe in. I'm going to believe that the UFO map is just for aesthetics. I mean, think about it. The 2 places that have the map have nothing in common at all, with one just being a alien enthusiast inn, and the other one being a government official who keeps an eye on things. Just from looking at that perspective, it doesn't make sense. So who's to say it isn't just some random wall graphic just to liven up some dull walls? But if you have any more information on this theory, comment with it. I'd love to hear it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for part 4 of Mudlup Mysteries Season 1, where we tackle the Fort Carson serial killer. Thank you for watching, and peace out, home skillets.